Just going to set a few things up, Jeff, and we'll get started. All right, let's do this. Just going to post it around the place. Just go to Facebook and do it. Twitter, and then we'll get started. Get a few viewers on.
Good morning, Wonky Kong.
We've got people already, that's good. All right, let's get rid of the stream starting soon and we'll start the stream. Welcome to Judgment Eternal Champion stream. I'm your host, Andrew Guns Galea, with my co-host, Jeffrey Tirith Galea. Hi, Jeff.
G'day, hello everybody out there.
We are the game's creators and designers. We've got a special treat today. Normally we just do live games, but today we actually pre-recorded a game. So it gives us a chance to interact more with the people on Twitch and and also answer any questions live, and we'll give commentary about our game and our thought processes, which is quite cool. So feel free. We're going to be interacting the whole time with you guys on Twitch. If you want any questions and things like that. So Jeff, this was a 3 versus 3 game we recorded a few days ago. In this game, I'm using Brulin and Jeffrey is using Thomas. Before we get this started, actually, I just remembered the Kickstarter is about $2,500 off the next stretch goal, which is Gloom gets added to the monster packs for free for all the backers. And then we've got a couple of big ones. 470 is a free monster in every god pack, and then 500 is Inferno gets added. We've got 30 hours to go, Jeff. It's been a pretty awesome campaign so far. What do you reckon?
Yeah, the month it went pretty quick, but at the same time it goes slow for us guys.
Yeah.
But the last few days have picked up like we predicted, so it's really exciting. Really exciting to see it go.
All right, cool. I know, and we've got a stream tomorrow as well, same time. We're going to do a 5v5 tomorrow, which will be the final hours of the campaign, which is pretty exciting. So Judgment Eternal Champions, have a search on Kickstarter if you want to back us. It would be great. We've got a whole bunch of backers. We've got like 1,300 backers almost now, which is surreal because we had under 200 for our last Kickstarter. So yeah, it's a bit of a different world. Fantastic. All right.
Yeah. We had players playing in little tournaments and get-togethers. It's only that 1,200 or 1,300. It's a different story.
Oh yeah, we're going to have a scene. It's pretty exciting.
A very big,
for sure,
playing scene, so it's going to be exciting.
Right. So Jeffrey, warbands. I was Brulin. I had Brock, Cradle, and Lugdrug in my warband. They were all champions of the god. We played one of the scenarios which uses a single terrain pack on the 3 versus 3 map. You can see it behind us right now. So Jeff, what was your warband?
Yes, we wanted to show off that we can, some people are under the impression that it's just Ista versus Krugnar in the Kickstarter, but it's not. You get access to all the gods. So I had Thomas, and I had all the champions from the god as well. I had Rakir, Masuthi the Soulgazer, and Ankura, the hybrid. And I had 2 demons in my warband.
Yeah, special treat for those CreatureCaster fans, because we've had 2 demons and Lugdrug, so 3 of the previous CreatureCaster models in the game. And of course, Cradle was our first collaboration model with them. And then we got Brock and Rakir for the veterans among us. Now, the other thing we did with this game, Jeff, is that we introduced Terra. So those who have played before will know Terra was either summonable by Gendris, or would appear if you dominated the Shrine of Eldir. But now she's a monster, and we're using the old 54mm scale version of her on this, which looked unreal, didn't it, Jeff, on the board?
Oh yeah, it was so big. It was impressive. Yeah.
So now Terra
sure.
is going to be released in the new scale. She is scaled down, not too much, so still going to be pretty daunting. But as you can see on this image behind us, her base is 50 mil, so it overhangs a little bit. But as you can see, you can still use 50 mil bases with the game for people who have the old models. But we're using her now. We're going to reveal her rules. So these what we're doing in the rule book, there's going to be 3 scenarios for 3 versus 3 and 3 scenarios for 5 versus 5 in the rule book that just use the models and monsters that are available in the initial Eternal Champions release. So there's Gloom, Inferno, and Terra are the only 3 monsters. Oh, also the Canuck Mirror is going to be available as well. So, but with this is one of those scenarios. So it's just a new scenario for the rulebook, and then obviously we'll be releasing a Judgment Tournament pack, a Maps pack every year that has all different scenarios. But this is the one that's going to be in the rulebook. So we're going to reveal Terra's rules now, Jeff. Just going to bring it up.
Yeah, to some of the questions. We chose Terra for this game, Wonky Kong, just so we could show her off how she is used. Very, very tough in a threes game because everything's close and she's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we are using... Terra will have those 3 iterations. I mean, we've done that with Dorgan. I mean, he's got 2 iterations, and that's something we don't mind doing with monster models if they get reused. So Terra will be the summonable by Gendress, a random monster, as well as available if you get the Terra LD Shrine. And notice the LD Shrines aren't available yet. They're not released into Eternal Champions. None of the character shrines are, just generic ones. So that won't come into play for a little while. But she will be summonable by Gendress. So if you have the Terra model, you've got 2 uses for it, which is quite cool. I'm just going to put up the rules for Terra. This is a world exclusive reveal of the Terra monster. You should be seeing it, Jeff. Sorry?
Just to clarify, this is the monster version. It's not the summonable version. The summonable one is slightly different.
Yeah, it's different to both. Yeah, that's right.
Like Inferno, basically.
Yeah. Storm Sorrow annual rulebook is a PDF download. Yeah. The annual. When I say the rulebook, it's not the rulebook. It's the supplement. We'll be doing a map supplement every year that you can download as a PDF. So that's what that is. All right, now Jeff, Terra. So people who are used to her will know that a lot of the rules are the same. She's got the same attacks: Rock Fist and Rock Hurl. The only thing is, Rock Fist has been upped in its damage to represent the fact that she's a monster, and she's got Mel 8 and RNG 9, and Agi and Res is the same as always. Agi as Res 2.
Yeah, RNG 9 is the highest hero number. I think Inferno's 8. So it's quite scary to represent. When a rock's coming at you, there's not much you can do to dodge it, so it's going to hit you.
Yeah, and like Dorgan he starts with 8, but he gets +1 Mel on damage whenever you're carrying souls. So yeah, but the thing about RNG is she can't aim, obviously, because she's a monster. So yeah, and it's dangerous. The damage is quite good. She's got the same health as normal, which is 10. She's a Fate 2 bounty, same as Ashtooth. We found her about the same, depending on whether you got Shredder or not. If you've got Shredder, she's actually much easier than Ashtooth to drop. She's got 2 less health and 1 less Agi. But if you haven't got res reduction, then she's probably a little bit more difficult than Ashtooth, but roughly about the same to kill. Now, Jeff, want to go through some rules? What's the Steadfast all about?
Yeah, so basically Steadfast. So normally in a general game, you're pushing the monsters around quite easily. One symbol and you can push them. But with Steadfast, it's going to take an extra symbol to push Terra that one hex. It's to represent, obviously, it's made of stone, so it's hard to push around. So that's one of the main things we've got. I think the easier play would be pushing off Terra if you fail to kill or do what you're supposed to do. But actually pushing Terra is going to be a bit more difficult than any other monster.
Yeah, so 100%. Like, you bouncing off her is a lot easier, but yeah, pushing her, you still can do it, but you can only push her 1, obviously, because you need 2 symbols to do it. Kong is getting really excited and scared about how much he can dominate 3s. You'll see in this game, it's pretty good. I'll talk about it at the start, but I did drop her in a practice game in my 1 activation with Brock, with my trick. So I tried it in this game. We'll see if it works. But yeah, she's killable. We've killed her in probably every game we've played her so far. With Granite, Jeff, she's immune to all conditions.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. That makes it tough, like immune to all conditions. Because, always, if you're charging in with Rakir, against Inferno or Ashtooth, or not Ashtooth, but Inferno, if you fail, you're able to poison and do his, his fade ability, but against Terra, not on.
Yeah.
You got to kill it the good old-fashioned way. There's no tricks.
Yeah, and then finally we've got the same combat maneuvers as always, which is Hurl and Rock Blast. Now Hurl is good. It's throw too, it's like Thorgar's ability, so pretty exciting. And then Rock Blast is awesome. It knocks down a model and blasts someone next to them. So they're both really strong abilities. I think I made a comment that if you get knocked down in threes, you're pretty dead. But the thing is, I counter that with the fact that there's only 3 activations. So it's not as if you've got to wait 5 activations. And, so yeah, it's not automatically dead. We've had models get knocked down in threes and you can get up. It's not as bad as we see. We'll see in the game right now. So that's Terra. I hope you like her. These are still beta rules. We're still testing them with the playtest team. And as I said, when it comes to the tournament maps pack, we'll pick and choose where we use Terra. But at the moment, we're not afraid to use her. She's not just a centerline one like the Jasha. The Canuck Mirror will be just centerline, but Terra, can spawn on your side of the board. Yeah, any final words, Jeff, on Terra?
Well, answer Veskar is how innate ability is different from Steadfast. It's basically the same. It's just that the innate abilities at the top, that should be eventually it's going to say generic innate abilities. So in the rulebook, we've got a list of generic innate abilities, such as, Punter, Pathfinder, etc. But more unique ones will still be on the card.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah, the common ones are just ones that all the monsters have kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, we have to write a meaning for every one of those. Every card will be like a rule book. So
big last big caveat. This is the old V1 style card. Don't forget the cards are getting completely redone in V2. They look amazing. We've done a lot of attention and got a lot of pro designers in for them, so they're going to look really good. But this is the V1 card. But just to give you an idea what it looks like. All right, that's Terra. Let's maybe get started in the game, Jeff. Just going to click this off.
Well, Kikon, we are looking at getting monsters to be more involved and more scary in the game. They're a bit, we started off a bit tentative, and some of them are a bit easier to knock off and kill. But this way, some of these new monsters are gonna have to make you think hard about what you're going to do. All right.
So the game's underway. We won't be broadcasting what we're saying during the game, but here I'm just talking about the Terra model, and we haven't actually set up yet, so it's pretty cool. There you can see that's the existing V1 Terra model. It's a beautiful model painted by Rayner, 72 paints, and we are still waiting for the new version, so we're using the old version for this. But it looks amazing. I mean, if you're a D&D player and you're going to use your Judgment models as D&D, which we do because we have a D&D campaign set in the Judgment universe that we'll be streaming very soon once the Kickstarter stops. The Terra Elemental, it looks amazing.
And to recap, these aren't the correct effigies. We are still using the Krognar and Ista effigies here because we haven't got them in Australia yet. But it is Thomas versus Brulin, the actual game. I'm using Thomas, which is the left side, the Krognar side. And Andrew's using
Brulin, that's correct. We're just proxying just so we can show them. We don't have them in our studio yet, but we're very keen to show them, so it's pretty cool.
So what we're having here, we're talking about the map. We might as well go over the guide's abilities, Andrew, while we're here.
Oh, yeah.
So I took Thomas. Pretty good warband bonus. Basically, whenever we control a shrine, we get to generate an extra fate. So it's quite powerful, It makes that, if people want to give up the shrine to someone who's playing Thomas, it's an extra whammy. You're really going to dominate the fate battle. I think Thomas has got one of the really strong magic sacred artifacts, Diamond Armor, which +1 res, which cannot be reduced in any way. Which I can stack with 1 res already becomes res 2, and it becomes a bit like Shan, quite a strong defense. And the Virtuoso, the effigy power. All combat maneuvers are reduced to 1 symbol, 1 combat maneuver this turn, which is great for Rakir, great for heroes like Ashel and things like that. And also, and when we kill a model, I forgot something important. Sorry, the warband bonus as well. When one of our heroes kills an opponent hit model, we get to heal D3 +2 health. So it's quite strong. I didn't use the avatar for Zeal, so I won't worry about that for this.
Yeah, that was Thomas. I just flashed up the Terra rules again. I think Wanky Kong's put a screenshot into Discord. If you want to see them, we'll post them after this anyway. So yeah, Jeff was Thomas. I just won the roll off to go first. I think I went first in this game, Jeff. I did from memory. So I'm just talking about what we're doing. I announced. That's right. I'm just deploying now. On this scenario, we've got 1 shrine in the centre. You can see it on the right of the lava there. That's just a standard shrine. So what people don't know, when a shrine's on the center line, it's D3 fate if you control it. If it's closer to your side, it's 1 fate. And if you control your opponent's, if it's closer to theirs, it's 2 fate. But normally in the center line, they're D3 fate for generic ones. And it's got 1 soul pit on the left as well. So there's a monster, pretty standard. It's the soul pit, there's terror, then there's a shrine. Now we played this, it wasn't a random monster spawn, it was terror every time. Jeffrey's just moving. Yeah, I put the wall in the wrong place. While we're watching the game, I'll just go through Brulin. So Brulin is heroes get Pathfinder on a charge. That's awesome warband bonus. It's handy all the time. It's fantastic. Off the artifact is Second Wind. I don't use it in this game, but it's really good. I've used it before, where you get a free action point if you kill someone in your activation. And then Rampage is a very scary effigy power where you charge for 1 less. Really ups your damage. It's an amazing effigy bonus as well. I won't go through Zonya. I didn't have Zonya, so she's the avatar. So neither of us have an avatar for this one. Now,
so he's setting up here now for the battle. You can see the Andrews put Brock ready to go into Terra early off.
Yeah, so what I did in a practice game, Brock spent 1 action point to buy the Hunter's Knife. Because he's a monster slayer as well, he gets +3 damage, so he can drop her if he crits her and then backswings her. And I did it in our practice game. Brock dropped it first turn of the game with 1 action. And then, of course, you can sell the Hunter's Knife straight away. Now, I do try it in this game. We'll see what happens when I do that. But yeah, I try to do the same trick. It's pretty good face.
So I was setting up here in the opposite side, just in case Brock fails. I can go and claim the kill.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. With these 1 soul pit maps, you often want to dominate, or you do want to dominate the soul pit, right? The person who dominates the soul pit is a ticking time bomb for their opponent because they can pick up souls. Now, Jeff has a soul gazer in Masuzi. I don't. That's a disadvantage, but we'll see how we go with that. Now, I announced that Rakir was Cradle's marked target. She gets +1 attack dice and generates an extra Shadow Mist token when she hits him. And Lugdrug, the ward for Lugdrug was Cradle, which is a really good combination as well. So pretty strong warbands on both sides. Jeff doesn't have a defender, but he does have Onkura.
I had Onkura, so I was ready on that side to go to the shrine. Onkura gets Barkskin, gets an extra res from melee attacks. Yeah. She's quite tanky, and with the bell, it's quite strong. So
good comment about Terra's actually completely camouflaged against the terrain on the board, but she is there. Mark my words. Canuck mirror rules. They are in final stages of design. We'll be releasing them probably in the next week or so. Jeff and I got to play a game. We've got a Canuck mirror model on its way from CreatureCaster to our Judgment Studio. So once we get it and get it painted up, we will be using it in a game. So you'll get to see the Canuck mirror rules soon, not before the end of the game.
I'd have to say she will be the most exciting monster so far.
Unreal. Yeah, we've gone to town with the Canuck mirror.
If you think Terra does some damage...
So here comes Brock, right? I bought the Hunter's Knife, which is 1 fate gone, and then 1 action point. He charges. I need a crit here. Because of Agi 2 on Terra, I've got something like 7 dice here. All I need is a crit. I got no reroll, and I don't get a crit. So it worked in the practice game, but didn't work here. Jeff did it.
No.
But I got 2 pushes, and I got... Now, 3 damage goes to 6 damage because of the Hunter's Knife and Monster Slayer. Comes back to 4 damage because of the Res 2. So
what? I'd like to make a comment just quickly. This is the pack you see. This is the terrain pack you're going to get from the Kickstarter. Actually, it's less than what you're going to get, isn't it, Andrew?
This is, there's more terrain than here. You get an extra statue than this in the terrain pack. You get a second wall, and you get another bit of forest. So we're not even using the whole terrain pack. Yeah. Now, tomorrow's game, the 5v5, we actually have 5v5 with just 1 terrain pack as well. So you do get a bonus one in the Kickstarter if you get 2 terrain packs if you buy the 5v5 map. But we have released in the rulebook terrain, we only use 1, but in the maps document 2 will be used. So I actually chose to do less damage here. I was worried about Jeff stealing Terra. So I've actually chosen, which is a good point to point out, I've chosen a J and 2 symbols. So I only do 2 damage plus 3 is 5 damage, goes back to 3 damage. So that leaves Terra on 7, which means Jeffrey can't drop her with Rakir. Unless he wants to... Oh, he can't poison her either. He can't drop her. So that's right. Because she's immune to all conditions. So I'm just now going to push myself 2 away, I think. Yeah. There we go. I pushed myself 3 away. Because I wanted to hide behind the smoke so I couldn't get charged. And I'm still in a great position for my second turn.
Morning, Kyriakos.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, so then I was sitting there thinking, I can't go in.
But Jeff does something really cool here from memory, I think. He's having a think. I think you... In this game, we actually use...
No spoilers, remember? No spoilers.
Oh, yeah. In this game, we use a lot of the heroes like in unique ways. Just different ways, because we've been playing for so long. Jeff and I are very experienced. We do explore all the different abilities on the heroes. So Jeffrey's advancing Masuzi here, Jeff, and you're going to take advantage of her range attack, right?
Yes, because because Masuzi's range attack ignores res, basically. Her acid potion, even though it's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, people overlook it. It's 1, 2, 3, but against Terra with 2 res, it's basically 2 bonus damage.
Yeah, so
We've missed your
that
dice
was
there.
the goal.
Yep. I think you start writing
So
a little bit soon, but yeah.
She's RNG6, so she's moved. He's got to be 4 dice.
Yeah.
Right, so I thought
There
it
we
was a
go.
good
That's the
idea
second roll. 2 more damage. Yep. Now I think here, Jeff, we've got her down to about 4 health. I think you did 2 damage there, maybe 1 the first time. I think she's on 4 from memory. So I don't have anyone left in my warband to be able to kill her. So I've given up trying to kill her. Jeffrey's still got a chance with Rakir. But what I do here... Sorry? Yep.
And I used to push to get Masuzi in position to be 2 hexes away from the soul pit there. So, to jump on the soul that's coming up.
But what that does done for me is give me an opportunity to try to push it. Now, I've used Cradle here. Cradle, because you need 2 symbols to push Terra, but she generates a lot of dice because of Terra's Agi2, and I managed to do it. I rolled Triple J, actually, which lets me push Terra once and then push myself. I've taken less damage. I don't want to damage it, because I want to make it easy for Rakir. So I leave it on 4 health. And then I push Terra into Masuzi. For the shooting against your Terra.
So there's two symbols to push Terra once.
And then I push Cradle once with my 3rd dice.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking here, I don't want Terra to go... I want Terra to be more than 1 hex away from my Cradle. So I'm choosing which hex to go back. And I actually choose to go back 1. So he needs 2 pushes. So he can't push Terra back to me. All this stuff makes a massive difference to the game, right? So you've got to really think about your positioning, because if I would have went into the first hex I moved into, I would have been in pushed range of Terra. Now it's on to Jeff, and he's got a decision because Terra's got 4 health left. What am I doing here? Oh, that's the Terra hit. We make a mistake here, don't we, Jeff? On the throw, we do fix it up before we get too far, but
so Terra's hitting Masuzi now and rolled a solid,
which is 5 damage, and rolled the hurl, didn't she, Jeff?
Yeah. So
now what we do, we hurl her and think that she stops at the wall. In actual fact, throw in the game now is a place. We've changed the rule on it, so we should have placed it the other side of the wall. We do pick it up before it's too late, but at the moment she's knocked down there. Yeah. But we do pick it up.
She's knocked down behind the wall. Now Rakir goes in. He's got 2 attacks. He should do it, but you never know because he hasn't got the Masuzi help anymore.
He needed a crit on his first attack, and he actually doesn't get it with 7 dice. So similar to my Brock, Jeff doesn't get it, and he.
So it's an option here of pushing once, but so that's only 3 damage, which becomes 1 damage.
So she's still on 3. So he still needs a crit with his second one to kill her because her res 2. I think he realises at this point it's not worth the risk. So he's I guess you're just thinking, Jeff, what are you going to do with it? And you end up pushing it, don't you, I think? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because the chance to, I can push it 1. Because if I miss that, the game could get lost there. If Rakir gets punched and gets knocked down as well, it'll just be, with Andrew going first, it'd be too much.
And then you place the Shadow Orb there, haven't you, Jeff, there as well? I think you got one more action here, one more action point. So, you're just thinking about what to do. With the dice, Vasquez, no, not adding glitter. These dice here are the Prestige dice we did with version 1. They are going to be the new guide dice. are going to be similar, same basically. But yeah, they're amazing dice.
CreatureCaster was dice made of diamonds.
That'd be good. We can do that. All right, so Ricky just moves back with his last action point.
Because there's no reason to be so close to anything anymore because he's in charge range. I made sure he stayed in charge range of Cradle, just of threatened Cradle, and I think and Brock and Ricky can't see each other at that angle. They can't. It's hard to tell it is.
I think you actually care. Oh yeah.
Oh no, there's an extra smoke sticking out there.
Oh, there is. You can't. We can't. There's a smoke. Terra's blocking it. This is Lugdrug. So Lugdrug gets a free place towards his ward at the start. So I've done that. I'm trying to see whether I can charge Terra here straight away, but I can't. There's models in the way. No matter what I do, sidestep, zigzag, I can't do it. So I need to spend my first action to move. Now, what my goal here is to push Terra again into Masuzi. We haven't realised our mistake yet, so I still think Masuzi's there, but we do fix it shortly.
And we're slowly getting these things painted. For example, the knockdown icon and the fade icon as well. So, yeah.
Just checking the Kickstarter. We've gone up again. We are just $1,200 away from unlocking the 450 stretch goal. So very close. Hopefully we'll do it while on stream and everyone will get a free gloom in their monster pack, which is a second gloom, which is quite good because there is a lot of maps with 2 glooms. So here, Jeff, I've moved Lugdrug and then I'm charging in. Once again, I'm looking for 2 symbols, try to push Terra into Masuzi. And once again, with the Agi 2, you still can generate a lot of dice. And I get 2 pushes again. I do. I get a J, a symbol, and hits. Now, I think at this point, she's down to 3 or something. I still wasn't able to kill her because I was 1 off. So I chose to push. And this is when we realise that I'm about to wail on Masuzi again while she's knocked down, which probably would have been a dead Masuzi, so I'm going first. But Jeffrey remembered, I think, that we did the throw wrong. And so we have a bit of a chat about it, and we just move it.
It's a bit of a rewind here, so yeah.
I don't think I change anything. I just rolled the roll, which is a crit hit on Masuzi, and Jeff just pointed out that we put it in the wrong place, so we'll just fix that up.
I'm just...
So Vasquez is going to buy all the God dice. The God dice, the Prestige dice are amazing. Jeff and I are using them here. And these are, we're getting them from the same place. They'll be the same design. They'll look amazing. So I think we're still discussing about our mistake. We decide to move Masuzi back. And then I think I decide just to stay where I was and don't worry about it. Yep, so there's Masuzi.
Masuzi took 4 damage because she had 1 res. So but another hit while being knocked down and then started the turn again would have been quite devastating.
Yeah, so we just move her. It's...
The rules are when you throw someone, you go over.
Well, that's a place now, Jeff, isn't it? We've changed the rule. We haven't announced that to everyone, but it's actually a 2 hex place, so it's very easy now. There's no throwing over things. It's just the model gets placed 2 away.
It just is cleaner for the rules. It doesn't really change anything.
Yeah. It makes it a little bit weaker because you can't throw into impassable now. You can throw over impassable, but it's not much difference.
Yeah. So now... I'm
deciding what I'm going to do now because now I didn't realise that was Masuzi wasn't there. But I think in the end I decide let's just leave it, which means I'm going to cop Masuzi the next turn. I think what we do, I do think we make a mistake here, though, Jeff. I don't think I knock Lugdrug down from memory. I think he takes the hit and Cradle takes the damage, but I think we forget the knockdown. But anyway, we'll get to that when it happens.
Let's see.
Any questions? Great change regarding the throw. Yeah, Kyriakos. Yeah, we, mate, V2, Eternal Champions is all about making the game more streamlined and faster and less rules to remember. So there's a lot of rules in the game with all the heroes, so we want to make, the generic things as simple as possible.
So I've realised here that I've got a free shrine from Cura because Andrew's used all these heroes.
Yeah,
and for me, that's
D3
fate plus an extra fate, don't forget, because of Thomas's... God power. So
I made the decision to give that up. I mean, I wanted to try to get dominance. I saw Masuzi on the ground. I mean, And so I decided to push into it. Obviously, it was a backfired because Masuzi wasn't there. But I wanted to get... For me, it was all about dominating the soul pit. It meant giving up a lot of fate to Jeff. But, yeah, I made that call early.
So I gathered that Andrew's probably going to kill Terra really quick and give him another 2 extra fate. Yeah. So I thought I'd better get this fate now, just so it's put it on equal footing. So
sorry for the delay. I probably could fast forward this a bit, but
I was trying to see if Ankura could get across to kill Terra, but I thought, we'll see. So we're just discussing.
I think I finally make my decision. Let's just push it away. I think. Yeah, I'm still going. Sorry, it's got 4 health. You can see the dice there.
So that's on the shadow warp. That means I can't use it to teleport with the shadow step.
Yeah.
So when you're standing on the shadow warp, or any ability even for that matter, even like on a soul pit or something, and heroes use those things to port with, that blocks them. Basically.
Yeah, I think I don't leave. I don't leave it
even
there.
though it says adjacent.
Yeah.
Even though it says adjacent, you can't do it. Yeah. So, well, he's still thinking about what he's doing.
So what I do less damage to leave it on 3. That means Ankura can't kill it, and then I push it in a position because I know I'm going to go first next turn. I'll get an easy kill with Brock if I do that. So I just left it on 3. So Ankura, if she moved and charged, she wouldn't be able to kill it because the most she can do is 2, and I just did that, and that was.
So pushed Terra once and pushed Cradle back once. Now she's sitting on the soul pit instead.
I had 3 pictures and I've just moved it again. There we go. I think that's the final spot. Nope, I've moved it again. And
maybe not.
I've moved it back and we leave it. Just leave it. Come on. There we go. All right. And now it's Jeff's turn.
Yeah. It speeds up.
It does. we just had a mistake with Masuzi. There we go. Ankura's going there. Pledge updated. Thank you.
You always don't like wasting action points, but first turn, sometimes you just have to. And with Ankura, I am...
Yeah, she puts the Bell of Doom down. The Wizard of Doom.
The fate. Because on you, I was getting D3 plus 1 extra fate, plus the 1 for the turn. I was getting D3 plus 2 fate next turn. I thought I'd put the bell down.
Yeah.
It's a very good defensive check, and Brock likes getting crits, and anything that could stop him would be quite handy. So,
and Lincoln makes a good point. I have a warband doesn't need a lot of fate as well. So, but yeah, it was a gamble. But anyway, I'm going to try to kill Terra. So Jeff's just rolling. I think he's rolling the movement for Terra. Terra moves 1. Now it throws the highest hit point model, which is Lug Drug. It throws the rock. And this is where we make a mistake and don't knock Lug Drug down, I think. Jeff gets to choose where he gets placed. There it is. It's a crit, 7 damage, which goes to 5 for Lug Drug. And it does the blast, which does half damage rounded up. So it does 3 damage to Cradle, which she reduces by 1 because of her res. But I've taken a lot of damage here.
It was a pretty big hit, damaging 2 heroes like that.
Yeah. And we did forget to knock him down, I think, so apologies. But he would have been knocked down in a proper game. Am I going to...
So that was 5 damage on Lug Drug?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And it ended up being...
I also forgot to give him a
so 2 damage to Cradle.
I forgot to give him an energy token as well, Jeff. We are $270 off the $450 unlock of Gloom. So if we get one more pledge, we should be there. We'll be unlocking Gloom on stream. And we've hit 1,300 backers. It's exciting.
It's going up while the stream's going, yeah. Okay. So now it's the important phase. We've
Soul comes up.
Soul comes up. We've generated fate. I didn't see the roll for the fate. I've got a bunch of fate, actually.
Jeff,
I've got 3 fate, 4. I've got 4 fate.
Yeah, you rolled a 1.
I got D3 plus 2. Yeah. So it's the second turn of the game is when things start happening, right? So the soul comes up. You get a free fate each, and I get D3 plus 1 because of the Thomas power. Quite strong.
Plus 1 for turn 2. So you rolled a 2 for the shrine. Plus 2, you got 4 fate. Now I'm on 1 fate, but obviously I'm about to try, and I think I use Brock straight away. Now my thought here is to ignore the shrine. I'm going to give it to Jeff if he wants to stay there, and I'll fight 3 versus 2 over the soul pit. For me, it's trying to get the soul pit. I mean, Jeff obviously can react to that, and he does, but I bring Brock in. I want to get Brock to level 2. I'll get 2 Fate. I've still got the Monster Hunter, the Hunter's Knife, so I'm going to do this really easily. Roll Triple J. So that gives me a Dead Terror. So it's level 2 for Brock. I get... now I think I trade the Hunter's Knife in straight away and pick up the Vorpal Blade. And I also spend one of the Fate I pick up to pick up the Leech. What's it called, Jeff? It's called...
Life Leech.
No, the...
Bloodsucker.
Bloodsucker. So I pick up both items to fully tooled up Brock. So I'm just going through my app now and adding them.
So Bloodsucker is a defensive item, even though it's... Yeah, and the Vorpal Blade, of course, is an aggressive item. So at this stage, I was a bit... I would love to go for that soul, but Masuzi being knocked down on the other side of the wall, it's really difficult. Because it means if I go for it, I'm sitting there and he's got, 2 activations to have a crack. So I'm trying to think what I'm doing here.
So I'm just going to equip Brock and then I move him. I think I've got 3 pushes. I've got Triple J. Triple J's everywhere here. And I think I move up. I push myself up now in a minute. Here we go. Yep, there I go. Slide myself up. I decide to go 2 maybe, just to say... so I'm contesting the Soul Pit in case Jeff tries to go for it. And then I cast 1 action point left. I cast Savagery. If you've got 1 action point on Brock, Savage is amazing. He's now sitting there with Res 1 and he's Mel 9 because I've got the Vorpal Blade. So I've kind of got Res 1 for the whole of Jeff's 3 activations, which makes him a lot more difficult to bring down.
And Mel 9 next turn, that's the big thing as well.
Super cool. I've just remembered, so there's a Shadow Mist token for Cradle because I damaged an enemy, which was Terra, within 2 of her. So she's got her first Shadow Mist token. And then away we go. I did think...
So forgetting the knockdown and lug drug...
it's pretty big.
Probably pretty big considering you had 1 Fate.
Yeah, I also forgot to get the, what do you call it, energy token from it as well. So that was a fail.
So the thing is here with this My Warband, obviously the obvious firepower is Rakir. You're just thinking, do you want to go early and put the damage on Brock, or... I was actually at this stage thinking Cradle, because I always go for the undead, because the Bank Soul to me is, it's quite strong. I'm thinking of having a crack, but then I'm thinking, I know that Lug Drug has Cradle as the ward, so...
And he decides to charge Brock. Here comes Rakir.
Couple of reasons. It's also to get near the soul, for the soul harvest that hopefully coming my way. So I'm hoping to get poison and a crit, which I should get. I get a lot of dice. It's still only agi 3.
You get what is it? 6 dice. I can't see your dice, but you poisoned me. You didn't get a crit, I don't think, but you did poison me.
That's 3, which only goes to 2 damage and poison.
Mm-hmm.
I think
and now you roll your toxin, I think, straight away, don't you, Jeff? Here we go. There's your Fate. Hope to see this roll because it's pretty spectacular.
It's good having someone...
11 damage. There goes Jeff.
So I rolled 11 on the damage.
Seriously, in the practice game, he rolled 11 as well. He's rolled 11 here. I was like, oh my goodness. So Brock's, even with the res, he's...
Anybody out there who owns Rakir, never settle for less than 10.
Oh, Jerry says 11. That's killer. And then he shadow orbs. He shadow out.
So I put Brox on 5, and I could have attacked him again, but I can't kill him because he's level 2, and I realise if I stay there, he's got Cradle and Lug Drug ganging up at me. Then he goes first. I thought, no. So I thought the safer thing was to get out.
So he did get out. Now at this point in time, I'm still contesting the shrine. He's still level 2, so even if he gets killed, he comes back on 1. He's still res, even though he's poisoned. Jeff had nothing that I could see that was going to kill him. So I just went straight up Lug Drug, and I tried a Soul Harvest here, I think, from memory. Now, people, like with a friend at 7, I rolled a 6, failed it, re-roll it with my Fate, and I rolled a 7 and pick it up. So... I've taken it off Masuzi now. She can't get it. Lug Drug's one of the best heroes to have it in. He's now level 2, which really ramps up Cradle. So it made a lot of sense. And with Soul Harvest 4 heroes, you can definitely pick up those souls.
So now she's level 2, which is quite a...
He is, yeah.
Yes, I just realised. Oh yeah, it would have been Anyway, it's all good. The that screws it up because now Masuzi's sitting there with not a lot of options. I've got Ankura out of position really.
Because I done Brock first, I thought you're just going to shake, stand her up, and try to get the soul on a 7. But because I know I still had Lug Drug and Cradle, but I don't know how much. She's got Res 1. But now you decide you do shake. I think you have. You got 2 fate left. I think.
Yeah, I'm going to try to kill.
Yeah, I think you go back to throwing those acid bombs again, which is. Yeah. And I'm only AG2, right? I'm poisoned, so.
Yeah, so you got to think about is it better to charge? I figured a charge would give me maximum 4, which comes to 3 because of res, or I could just do 2 acid bombs and ignore his res, and the odds are I'm going to get more than 3 anyway.
I'll update the soul pit.
So that was the idea.
I'm on 1 soul now. I'll just update that. Boom. There we go. So yeah, I think you do a bit more damage here, Jeff. Now from memory, I think have you started rolling yet? So I've got control of the soul pit at the moment. I've got my defender and aggressor around it. My aggressor's copping a bit of a pounding, but here's Jeffrey throwing it. He throws a crit, 3 damage. I think now I'm on 2, Jeff, maybe?
2, puts you on 2 because you gained the level, so you're on 2. Yeah.
I thought it might have been because you don't kill me here, do you? You roll 1 more. Oh, it leaves me on 1. No, that's 2.
You're on 2.
No.
Now I
must have been on 3, Jeff. Because you don't kill me here. You leave me on 1 here, which means I remember you saying Zonkura can't kill him now. I think your first roll, Rakir, wasn't a solid. It was 1 damage. It was a glancing poison.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky with 4 dice. I probably should have re-rolled that because now he's on 1, and if I do, Zonkura can only get 1 attack, and if he does kill him, he comes back on 1 anyway because Brock's level 2 ability, Heroic Destiny.
So yeah, I do remember this now. So, and you've moved up with the push symbol to get in range of the soul pit with Masuzi. And
so the good thing is Masuzi did leech 2 out of that because she leeches 1 each time.
And now, what's this fate you're thinking about doing here? Can't remember. Oh, you healed up, did you? No, you've used all your abilities, haven't you? Oh, that's right. You cast that's decay on him as well.
Decay. So I put -2 move because I didn't think that Agi's that effective. So I put decay on Brock.
I think you stayed. No, you went back, and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
No, you didn't cast it. Okay. Yeah.
I decided to push back. So I was thinking about putting decay on.
You're worried about being in range of Cradle, I think. I'm not sure what happened here.
Yeah, I wanted to get the cover, and because I knew Brock. I knew you're going first next turn.
Yep.
And this way, Andrew's trying to get Cradle in on.
Once again, can't charge because of the models in the way. So even with all the flexibility of version 2 charging, there's still a lot of instances where you can't charge. There's 2 in 2 activations. So.
We've just reached. Apparently, I think we've reached 450. Not yet.
235 count away, are we? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's so close. Oh, it's gone up again. Yeah, we're 235 Canadian away from getting the 450. Let's see if we can do it on stream, guys. Tell your friends. Right, guns are still thinking here, am I?
The Cradle can't get the charge on Masuzi, not without moving, which is okay to cop, right? So
I think I go a bit ballsy here. I think I might charge Uncle Rakir. Is that what I do? I can't remember now. Go deep. Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Because you can see from
there we go.
It's hard to see from this angle, but yeah.
I sidestep, and then I zigzag all the way down. There we go. She's got 1 Shadow Mist token from before. She has taken a little bit of damage. I just want to start chipping away at Rakir here. Jeff hasn't got any way to heal him other than using Fate. So I figure let's just get stuck in. I'll generate some Shadow Mist tokens. He is my marked target, so I get extra dice. I roll 1 hit out of 4, which is not great, but it does 1 damage. It makes me leech 1, and I generate a Shadow Mist token. She's really good against her marked target, obviously. And the other chance, going against Masuzi's got res 1, which Cradle hates. Now I've done a J, so that lets me basically heal up to full.
So what damage did you do, sorry, the first
I did
attack?
1 and then 1 again. Yeah. Oh, you're marking the damage? Yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you for that.
So Rakir's down to 13.
Yep.
Started on 15.
Yep.
Cradle didn't need to.
All right, we've got another backer, so we're 170 cat away. 170. Ah, that's right. I think, I pushed myself here. My last action is...
So it was that point there that I realised I forgot actually to use the bell. I paid for the bell and didn't use it. It would have punished taking a dice of Cradle, so too far to go back. So.
Another damage there, Jeff, and I didn't roll very well on this one. I did 1 every time, but I had 4 Shadow Mist tokens that I couldn't use. So I just decided to, I'm already full health, so I decided just to push myself away from Rakir. Now what I did, the other thing with Cradle, I know she's in an average position, but I'm going first next turn, and I wanted to stop on Kura coming over to try to fight me for the soul pit, so I was thinking, get someone deep, bit of damage on Rakir, and hopefully she'll provide a bit of a buffer getting to the soul pit. I think I place a Shadow Orb. Don't forget she can use Shadow Orbs as well, so I place a Shadow Orb there. Now straight away Jeffrey's in on Kura, thinking let's just charge in.
Well, Kura had nothing to do, all of a sudden to the target there, so...
Thank you, Storm Sorrow, for adding Tauren Dice Pack to your pledge. Yeah, they're beautiful dice.
I'm just finding a good position here.
Yeah. Roll.
In Kura, I wanted to be in the middle of the fray. She's my defender. The mill 7, I roll pretty...
We're $50 off the unlock. You rolled just... you got dice on a push. I can't see the other dice. You did 1 damage to me, maybe, and then pushed me into Rakir, which is not great for me, seeing... Yeah, Rakir can just stand there and just wail on her. I
still got another attack from Ankura. Yep. 7 versus 3 is 4, should be 5 dice.
I think you did a crit here. Yeah, it's a crit with a push, I think.
So that's 4, which goes down to 3 because of Cradle's got 1 res.
Yeah.
Cradle's down on the 11.
Yeah, it was a crit, Jeff. 11, yeah, that's right. And then you moved the Bell of Doom for free at the end.
Yeah, so Ankura can move the bell for free. It's not just adjacent. You paid the fate already to put it out there. So now I'm seeing that Cradle's there and Rakir's there and base to base, everything's lined up. So it's got to put the pressure on Andrew to see what he wants to do here.
That's right. So that's the end of the turn. It's the new turn's about to start, the communion phase. Now, in my head now, I'm thinking pretty much Cradle's dead. I could decide to do her first and get her away. But then it opens up Rakir to come in again and all this kind of thing. While she's there, she's kind of blocking that. I think I'm still... I mean, we haven't done the communion phase yet. We'll do that in a minute, but...
So he got the fate, we're doing it now. We haven't updated everything yet. Well, the soul doesn't move.
Soul turns up. There it is. Soul spawns. Monster doesn't spawn yet. Comes next turn. Always misses a turn. And then we generate fate. So I actually get 1 here because I've got a soul. And Jeff gets no extra fate. But you got 1 left.
I've got 1 left.
So you're already starting to get a little bit fate starved. And I've got 3. I think I've got 2 and I add a fate. So, yep.
So Brock's sitting there on 1 health. But Andrew gets to go first. So that's his option. It's basically keeping Brock alive or keeping Cradle alive.
And because Brock's got the Leech Blade... I think I decide to just shake the poison and I'm going to go charging in on Masuzi. The Leech Blade's so good for Brock, I'm pretty much going to get 4 health back from my...
Yeah.
Do I call my effigy power here, Jeff? I think I might. I think I do. Because I get 6 health back here. I remember this now. I do.
Yes, yes, Travis. The lava is smoke as well.
Yeah.
It's double.
Yeah, it is. So I call my effigy power here, which means I charge for 1, which gives me 3 full attacks onto Masuzi. I think I do a crit, so that's 5 damage, which goes to 4. And that lets me leech 2. Now, Masuzi's already taken damage, remember. What's she on now, Jeff? 7 or something?
9.
9, yep.
Yep.
I get a backswing now.
Which does another 3, which goes to 2.
I haven't rolled it yet, but I'm about to roll it. And don't forget, I've got savagery up. I'm Mel 9 here. I'm throwing a crap load of dice. So a good chance of killing her.
There is cover, but
I roll 2 more hits with my 5 dice. So that gets me... You don't leech twice, right? You only leech once per action. Per action point.
So that's 3, which goes down to 2 because I've got res.
Now my next one, I actually don't roll a crit. And I'm thinking about it here, but I know I've got 1 action left because I call my effigy power. So I decide to just do... I still do 2 damage to her. I still leech 2 more.
Leech puts Brock up to 5.
Last action point, I roll a crit. I kill...
You're basically getting an extra action to Brulin if you let them have the charge, right?
2 pushes lets me move myself back 1 and move her up as well, which is super important because now she doesn't get cover. So all these things make a difference because I need 2 damage. I need 3 damage to kill her here. Now I've just already healed up 6 health with Brock. He's on 7. And then I get the damage to kill her, puts Brock to level 2.
Then said Brock's strong because his combat maneuvers can be used to push and he gets a crit. He still gets his second attack. It's like a combat maneuver that isn't a combat maneuver, so to speak.
Now he's on 8 health because I gained a level as well and I healed up 6. He's got level 3. He's got a soul. I'm on 2 souls. So, and now I just let Jeff do what he wants with the Cradle because, that was the decision.
It's actually on 9 health because he gains 2 health
9.
When it goes to level 3. So now it seems obvious to me.
I don't you to kill Cradle, Jeff, because I can't do it.
I do know the turn is flip, but if I kill Cradle, it's going to flip. So I was thinking, can I get to Brock and keep the turn? But so I can't see the dice.
I think you rolling poison here.
I didn't call my effigy power.
Poison again. You rolled a 12 this time, I'm remembering, and kills her with 1 action.
Yes, he rolled a 12. So I rolled 11 and a 12. Pretty good. That's how you play Brock. Anybody out there, you need to play, guys.
How you play Rakir. I was trying to keep it together. I was about to flip the table at this point.
It backed the soul. I still had 2 actions to go because that was 1 action.
That was crazy. I think you were thinking of, so the soul's auto bank. Charging Brock.
Now, what stopped me charging Brock was that I couldn't do it again because I thought I could go in and poison him and blow him up as well.
You can't do Toxin twice because it's an active ability.
I had no fade anyway, and I thought, I'm thinking about it, and the soul as well.
Active abilities can only be done once per action activation. So when Rakir's rolling like that, there's not much you can do. You just have to wear it, and hopefully he starts running 2s and 3s, rolling 2s and 3s. But he charges in now, so this is salt in the wound here because he's done it with 1 action. He got 2 action points to charge Brock.
Threw me off balance. I wasn't expecting to have 2 actions left.
And then another crit with poison. Yep. So
that puts Brock down to 4 because he hasn't got res this time. See, Brock's got the soul, so putting pressure. I always like putting pressure on heroes that have got souls. So.
Now Jeff's level 2, so that means he can use escape to get back.
The reason is he still had Lug Drug, which would have done some damage to Rakir, and then he would have had Brock going first next turn, and I just would have lost Rakir. So I had to get out of there. And I went,
this is magic.
Thinking the best place to play here. Because when I'm behind there, I can't be seen, but I can't see out as well. Remember, even though you can go through it, you can't see through your own effigy. So I think I'll go there. Because if Lug Drug wants to come deep, I'll just poison him and roll an 11 or a 12 again. And
that's it. And here I go. I'm going for the soul again. I've got the soul. I miss it on a 7 again. Re-roll it, and I get it with a 7. So this is how important, it's a good demonstration of how important dominating the soul pit is on a 1 soul pit map. Lug Drug's done nothing but just soul gaze twice. I had to re-roll twice, but I got it on 7 twice. And I'm up 3-1. And once you're up 3 souls, the pressure's on. Lug Drug is unkillable without Rakir. So Jeff's already done Rakir. I'm going first next turn. So Jeffrey, I guess at this point, realises the soul's coming up again next turn. And I'm going to go first so I can soul gaze it and win the game if I get it. So yeah, it's still important to fight over that soul pit if you can. I think I go on the soul pit. I do this for a reason here because... Oh, do I push over there? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, just thinking. So 2 souls on Lug Drug, 1 soul on Brock, 1 soul to win. Jeffrey's got on Kura to go here because I've already killed Masuzi. And you kill my Cradle. So I'm still going first because Jeffrey killed Cradle back. I think you're charging Brock here. Yep, mate.
Well, I've got to go in now because
Yep.
I've got to try to contest the soul.
Yep.
I've got to try to push Brock away from the soul to make it at least a 9 with Inkura being there. So there is cover here.
Yep.
I avoided low blow. So Masuzi's got a decent stat line though. Sorry, Inkura.
Oh yeah, it's Mel 7.
Mel 7.
Yeah.
It's 4 guys. We 5 dice. I just need pushes. I'm just trying to push him off the soul.
You do that. I think. Oh, you're rolling this, are you? Oh, you had a fate there. You realise? Okay. Here we go. Rolls it again.
It's a risk because
you get.
I do want to do damage, but I also want to push him.
So you get.
He's only got 4 health.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the crit. That's right. That's right. Really big turning point. If I get the crit, it makes him trigger heroic destiny.
Then you can kill him. And you didn't get it with a reroll on 5. That's right.
Didn't get it with the reroll. I needed a crit on 5 dice for a reroll, which is pretty decent odds.
Yep.
So if I do get him, I kill him, and then I basically take the soul off you. It comes out to 2-all.
Yeah.
But failed with the reroll.
I think here you decide to move Inkura again. You want to stay contesting. You want to get rid of the cover, which is what you've done. And I think then you have a think about this for a while. I think you actually decide,
Yeah, that right to be not getting the crit. I needed the crit. Would have turned the game. If Flooddrag would have stand on the soul pit. Yeah,
that's true, Sebastian. Sonny, yes. That was one thing I was thinking of, but I wanted to try to protect Brock by moving in front of him, but it didn't help really. And anyway, the last roll, you did some damage. I think I came back on 1, but you didn't get a push. You didn't get a push, so now you're in range of terror.
But I had to cop that because I had to be next to the soul.
And you moved the bell.
I realised that once I didn't get the crit, the game was it's up to the dice then.
Yeah.
Because he needs 1 soul to win.
This is a really cool thing Jeff does here. So this is the communion phase. We're bringing your soul up, all this kind of thing. Terra turns up and smacks on Kura. Now, at this point, we do the throw properly, but because it's really cool, we'll wait till I roll the dice, but she does get the hurl.
So the bell does affect Terra, because the bell does affect enemy models attacking.
Within 2? So it's 1 less dice, isn't it, Jeff? I get a J and a hit, which is not much damage. I think it's 1 damage, but a hurl.
And I've got res 2.
Yeah, now because on Kura, 2 away would hit the impassable, and then we go 1 closer, hits Brock, she stays where she is, and she's knocked down at the feet of Terra. But, right, then we've done that, and then we generate fate and all this kind of thing. We're just talking about it here, but we've done it correctly this time. And then... Now, it gets to respawning, and Jeffrey, see that red thing? That's the coalesce for Masuzi. So Jeff decides to respawn there. That's a demon ability people often forget. Now, being there, she takes an extra 1 off my Soul Harvest attempt. So at the moment, I'm 1 off for Onkura, 1 off for the bell, I think, Jeff, and 1 off...
No, it's just 1. It's +1, -1 because it's Brock and Kura.
That's right, and the -1 from...
Masuzi.
Now, I'm sure there's another -1 there. Doesn't the bell do it as well?
No.
Oh.
So it's on an 8 because of Brock. If you start on an 8, it goes to 7 because of Brock, goes back to 8 because of Inkura, but now it goes up to 9 because of Masuzi.
Correct, it's 9. That's right, yeah, it's 9. Right. Correct, yeah.
Because this Soul Gazer class, contest within two hexes. So
I'm thinking...
I know it's risky because Masuzi's come back on 10 health.
Yes.
But... I have to stop that soul harvest. A 9 makes it a lot more difficult than an 8.
Yeah, so with 9 on a reroll, I'm not prepared to do that. It's about 33% chance, I think. I decide to go for Masuzi here, I think, with Brock.
So we'll so that's a good thing about demons. Look at the coalesce rule. That not only they can respawn back to where they died from, which is quite important.
Yeah. So because Kura's knocked down, there's no parting blow on Brock. I think Brock's on 1 health at this point in time, but I'm trying to win the game. Yeah. If I don't do this, it'll be pretty bad. So Jeffrey spends a fate to take a dice off me, I think, or you don't bother, I think, because I've got so many.
It's for the game.
Yeah. I think
I do.
No, you don't.
You kill me.
Yeah, you don't. I think because I had a buttload of dice. I'm not sure, but you kept it. And then I get...
Actually 3, and 10 health.
I get a crit here with my 7 dice. So that heals me 2, does 4 damage. I get backswing. How much is she on, Jeff?
She's on 6 now.
I think it's a he, sorry.
And then,
she's a he, but yeah. 6 dice. And...
another backswing is another 3, which is another 2.
I haven't rolled it, but
yeah. It's last.
This is my backswing here, I think.
Assuming it's going to be a backswing.
I get a 3. I'm glad that was a backswing. There's 3's the most. So I do another 2. Get 2 pushes. I think I'm just planning ahead here. I go back and bring you out. And then my last action...
Susie's got 4 left.
Crit to win here.
Need to crit to win. And it's 9, whatever you 8 versus
with
3.
6 dice. I have a re-roll up my
6 dice, slim chance of
Don't
failure.
need it. Roll a crit. That's it. So 2 on Brock and 2 on Lugdrug, and ends up being 4-1. I've got Masuzi. I mean, I don't know. Jeff was in a tough situation. It was either leave me with an 8 with a reroll, or bring Masuzi up and risk Brock killing her.
So as you can see, Terra had a big effect on the game.
Yeah, Terra was cool. So people, don't forget the Hunter's Knife. Now, Hunter's Knife can also be used by non-melee people. Like, you can do it from ranged. Obviously, you can't get the bounty unless you're adjacent when she dies, but it's a good ability. Like, it's fantastic. And as soon as you kill a monster, you can trade it, right? You can trade it in, and it's very efficient. You get the monster kill, you trade it in, pick up another item that you want. But yeah, that was a good game, Jeff. I don't think... I just was lucky, I guess. I had to do rerolls twice with my 7 soul harvesting, but Lugdrug basically did nothing but soul harvest the whole game. It would have been interesting.
Yeah, did everything you could do, I suppose. In the end, it came to a 50-50, needing a crit on the 5 dice to put it to even. But looking, Kura as a tank works quite well. She took 1 damage there from Terra and knocked down. It's fine. So
I think Brock could have wailed on her knockdown, but with the res 2, I was kind of thinking, I don't really want to. I didn't want to risk that. Like, it's not that easy to do it. So yeah.
So that's the stream.
That's the stream, guys. End of the stream. I'm just gonna go back to here.
Short, quick one today.
Yeah. So I think tomorrow we're going to be doing a what do you call it? We'll do a 5v5 chat and stream. It's another cool game. Once again, we do Brule and Thomas, which is awesome. So if you've got any final questions, please post them now, or we'll wrap up the stream. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching. Thanks, Jeff, for doing the commentary.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see. Tomorrow at the same time, we'll have 4 hours left for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, so when we go on tomorrow, it'll be the final hours, which is quite exciting. I think at the moment we've got like 28 hours to go. So yeah, it's a final push. If anybody wants to, let people know, or post whatever groups you're in. Everyone knows people who play miniature games or board games. Try to encourage them. It's great to get us over to 500, which 500 gives everyone Inferno and Gloom. Which would be, I think, no. It's actually Svetlana and Gloom. That's right. Which would be great.
So just on tomorrow, it will be Thomas and Brulin tomorrow again.
Yep.
In the fight.
We use the same warbands. We just add 2 each, don't we, Jeff, I think?
Yeah, it'd be good to show that we can use a full terrain pack and it still works quite well on the fight.
Yeah, 1 terrain pack. Yeah, that's true.
1 terrain pack. So, yeah.
Right.
And it's the same warbands that we're adding to. All right.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Thanks for tuning in.
Same time tomorrow. We're going to be countdown tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. Last few hours, we'll see where we're at, see how close we are to unlocking any. Because I think Inferno's at 540, so that's going to be a stretch, but 500's within reach, I'd say. Cheers, everybody. Take it easy. We'll talk to you soon.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.